Today's lesson is on frustration. So, frustration is a symptom of getting the same results, specifically the results you don't want to have in your guitar playing. Being the best player that you could possibly be really requires quite a bit of resourcefulness. And it's a never-ending journey of learning how to be more and more and more resourceful. One of the things that I'll say that's sort of universal, no matter what style, no matter if it's mental, like music theory, or technical, like sweep picking, legato, anything virtuosic, or even, arpeggios or chords, or even, putting down bar chords or open chords, doesn't matter what it is. One thing that's universal is that if you're not happy with the results that you get with something, you have to do it differently enough to yield a different result. And that different result most likely isn't even going to be the result you want. If it is, congratulations. You really nailed it. You figured out exactly what to do. And then that's what you practice is that solution, right? But most of the time, my experience and also my experience with my students is that they'll or will, I'll say will because I'm included in this, will change it a little bit and we'll try it. Maybe we'll do it a little slower. Maybe we'll actually move our hands slower. Like our left hand will actually go to the notes, or our right hand, right, if like finger style, will actually slow down the velocity to find the string correctly. These are adjustments that we make in our playing to be able to get the accuracy right now. See, all progress is made in the present. So if you're not making progress now, it's not until you make the right changes that you will actually be able to make progress. It won't come over time. Something told my students a lot is like it won't come from sleeping on it. And it just, it's not an off day, and uh, it's not something where playing other stuff will help it. In the early stages of playing, before you've ever plateaued or anything, every bit of playing you do will sort of help, but it will all sort of culminate to a point where it will lead to a plateau as you want to progress. Again, this is for those who want to be the very best players they could possibly be. So it will culminate to a point where you'll sort of narrow out your method that you like to learn and work on things that will cap out at a certain point, and then that's when we have to adopt new methods. My methods are not my own. They're from my teachers. I was fortunate to go to a number of different colleges and study with a number of different teachers, and even studied privately for 2 years in preparation for grad school with Steve Gibb, a really great player, really great teacher. Shout out to Steve Gibb. And yeah, my methods became their methods, or their methods, I should say, their methods became my methods. Uh, I never wanted to do the type of work that they wanted me to do, but I wanted the results. And so when your methods fail enough times and you're finally tired of the failure and the frustration, that's when we're most open to trying something else. Something Steve taught me is sort of the Bruce Lee analogy. Is like there's too much tea in your cup, which meant that I had to. He was telling me he was advising me how to do something, really from experience and accomplishment. And I was coming at it from a sort of theory base. I'm like, well, if I work on it this way, I should be able to get the same result. He said, there's too much tea in your cup, which is really this idea of I have yet to exhaust my options. I have yet to test that theory. Once I tested that theory and got that experience and got those results, only then would I be ready to accept a new way of working. Because if my way got the results, why would I want to do it the more tedious way? Right? So, one of the things we learn is that the easiest way to get the results eventually becomes the most tedious way. Something I often tell my students is the long way is the quickest way. What it seems like will take the longest time will actually take the shortest time, because you're really being meticulous, you're being accountable, and you're being very strategic, and strategy shorten the odds. So the lesson for today is if you're a frustrated player and you want to be the best you could be, and you feel like you've plateaued or you've capped out, um, and you're not done exhausting your methods yet. So if you're not done exhausting your methods, go exhaust your methods, because hopefully it works. Hopefully you get your progress. That would be great, because then you get to have a great time. The ultimate goal, right? But at a certain point, when it doesn't work, that's when you have to adopt new methods. And when new methods are employed, that is when you do things differently enough to yield a different result. So if you yourself are feeling like, wow, this is a lot to really be able to organize yourself and a lot to be able to design yourself, please send me a message. I'll give you a free 1 hour lesson. This is something I help people with literally 6 days a week. I have a nice amount of students. I'm very fortunate to have a nice amount of students, and I've had many of them for like over 5 years. Some I've even had over a decade. And the whole point of the relationship is to be able to say, okay, you say what you want. Okay, great. That's out in the open. Now, let's align our ideas about how to get there. So first, you exhaust your options, right? When that doesn't work, you're like, I can't make this work. Okay, here's what you do, right? And then you adopt a new method. When you adopt a new method, it's going to be hard. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be tedious. But you will get those results right away. You will get that progress in the present when you do it. It won't take practice. And that's because, very important, very, very, very important lesson here is practice does not guarantee progress. And specifically when it comes to practice, what we want to practice is actually the solution that we found to a problem. And that comes from a stage of experimentation. So when we're doing the experimenting on how to solve a specific problem, and we figure out how to solve the specific problem, then it is that solution that we want to drill, because then that becomes our default, and then we could just do it and we don't have that problem anymore. So if that's you want to be the best player you could possibly be, you're struggling, you're having a tough time designing your own progress, you want progress now, please reach out to me. I'll give you a free 1 hour lesson. Thank you everyone who's been watching my videos. I've been getting some really nice feedback on them, and I really enjoy making them and delivering these lessons that have been passed down to me, and things that I figure out in my own journey as a player and as a teacher, to be able to empower everyone to have a great time when they're not just playing the instrument, but working on, finding their own potential on the instrument. It's a really special thing. So thanks.